vehicle section here at Little Cambridge Rally. Series 3 Land Rover here. Sliding windows here. 1970s. And we have, I believe, a couple of Series 2As here. A Series 2A Land Rovers. Tell by the lights there. 1966 around about there. This one is 1967. There we are, the split windows and the split windscreen there. There we are. Diesel 1967 2A 88-inch. There we are. Some of the always nice to see a right up there. There we are. E-registration canvas top there. And alongside here we have rather larger Leyland Super Comet here. There we are. Crowds building up here. Coming up to 10 past 11 here. The ERF E10325. Bit of camaraderie here as well. Got the GMC. Got the Bedford TK 860. Dennis there. Lovely array of vehicles here. We've got a lovely Bedford CA van here. There we are. Some Dormobiles here as well, but dark contrast, this is the standard van, not the Dormobile. There we are, lovely condition there. Alongside we have an import here in the Volvo. And we have a brush here. There we are. Another Leyland here. Leyland commercial. A 350 FG. There we are. Got the ERF with the Rolls Royce engine here, no less. 1970s ERF. Moving down, Bedford TK 570. And an AEC. There we are. 1957. Already look there. Camp on it, there we are. Use it as a Dormobile. The AEC Mercury, there we are. 1957. Air brakes. Probably adapted over the years. They're right up there. And a lovely Morris here. There we are. FGK. Looks like the K42 ton truck there. 1965. Austin here as well. Which one is it? There we are. It's Austin pickup. Certainly rare. And we have another Bedford here. Late 1960s, the late 60s here. Looks like I've got a furniture removal van here. There we are, removal van. In the Bedford, there we are. But like Clarence had on the hit comedy with Ronnie Barker. Classic comedy there. There on the Bedford. Not sure of the model. Removal van there. Alongside stark contrast we have the import and the scanner here. There we are. Vauxhall here, Vauxhall pickup. Operations support vehicle for KB coaches. Not sure how authentic that is, but there we are, some of the details there. Minimal details, looks like. Booking in. Past there. Another lovely Bedford CA van here. Actually, it's a dormobile. Most likely. There's the details there. There we are. It's actually it's a Utila brake bunny nose. There we are. It's a 10-seater farmer's conversion. It was bought in 2020 from Mike Brewer Wheeler dealers. There we are. So it has been on the television. There we are. It's one of the digital channels there. He said it was too much work for him and Ed to restore. Ed Chana, of course, used to be on the programme. There we are, fully stripped. So they copped out on that one, mostly. Cop out, they didn't bother to restore it. Shame. Lovely vehicle, very rare. Wow. Perhaps they should have done. Certainly, lovely vehicle now. Bedford CA. There we are. This is more like a utility vehicle. Alongside we have the Ford. There we are. Recovery vehicle bought in 2023 from Wiltshire. The original body had been removed. Some of the write-up here. There we are. Military recovery vehicle there was in the process of being restored. Well, there we are. Some of the photographs there. One important commercials here, and we have another import here in the Volvo F12 turbo intercooler here. ERF, back to the British, ERF Gardner 240. Another ERF alongside. 1970s. And an Albion here. There are the Albion. Fords and Thames here. K faithful. He's been faithful to restoring this, no doubt. Fords and Thames there. Looks like another converted for automobile use there. Back there. Another Austin here. They were lovely Austin, owned by K faithful. There we are. Range-worthy. Well, on to the motorbikes here. Lovely BSA. Here's a motorbike my grandfather had. BSA Bantam there. What's this here? TriStar, VW TriStar. Totally, not only modified, totally built from scratch, I think there. And we have next door there a motodrome. There we are. Interesting bikes from BSA there, Triumph, and others here. Italian, British, and I expect there's a few Americans here as well. That's from 1956, BSA 500 cc, 23 horsepower. Triumph there. And the cotton was cotton made in Gloucester. There we are, 1960. Another cotton made in Gloucester, of course. The factory not far from one of the main streets there, I do believe. The HRD there. So popular they are here, the amount of people around them. Well, on through the bike lineup, the HRD, there we are, the Vincent HRD, and we have Triumph Thunderbird here. quite close together here, the BSA, and we have ladies loop framed Humber bicycle. There we are, 1896 to 1900. That's a Harley Davidson, by the way. How interesting. There we are, Harley Davidson there. And in case I've missed it, there we are. The name is not on that side, the Harley Davidson. And anybody's interested in all the particular details of the bikes and definitive information, there's not much written up here, not much place to write it. Anybody who wants all the particulars, do perhaps consult people who know more about bikes, perhaps. Tell your friends to write more about the bikes for people like me who come along. But I'm just doing a walk round. I know somebody did ask me for more details at one time. Not always easy when they're close together, and of course sometimes it's rather damp, which is not like it today. Lovely day today. Just going around to see some of the bikes here. So hopefully that will help enthusiasts and people wanting to promote the marks for the younger generation. BSA. Suzuki, the Japanese import here. There we are. Of course they changed things. Honda Super Sport 404 there. I wonder what that is there. See a smaller bike there. There's a rally. There we are, a rally. Who knew that they made motorbikes? There's a rally in Nottingham. There we are. That's one of them for making bikes over the years. Didn't know they made motorbikes. There we are. And NSU, well, I think that's German. And a Triumph push bike there. Now we'll come back to the push bikes. No, but we'll continue with the motorbikes. The Triumph there. Honda, the Japanese one there, the Honda. Villiers there, 1950. James Comet, that's a James. There we are, it's a James. Well, we'll come back to the push bikes here, and otherwise continuing with the motorbike, the Triumph here, like a racing Triumph there, the Honda and the Japanese model there, and the James. There we are, the James Comet Villiers 1950. Next door, an Ariel there. There we are. Something different there as well. Ariel 3 and the Triumph there now. Details there for sale, £3,000, engine rebuilt, nut and bolt refurbishment. Ariel there, box on the back. Francis Barnett here, scooter here, Lambretta, Yamaha, looks like Trials bike there, big Suzuki, BMW, of course. Imports over the years. BSA, there we are, back to the British in the BSA. Got the milk float here. It's a dot. Rather interesting milk float here. It's been out in Australia. Tuk. And here we have a rather rare milk float here. It's even taken to Australia, then brought back. It's 1946 dot milk float. There we are. Bought in 2004. There we are. The previous owner took it to Australia, only to return it years later. Now running, continuous improvements being made. There we are. Even got the old currency here, old pound notes, 10 shillings and the likes here. The old coinage there, price list from 1937. There we are. Well, if anyone wants to see what the prices were before the war, There's an indication. Is it 1 shilling there? No. That's rather rare here. Looks like we've got a trike with a 3.5 litre Rover engine. That'll be quite quick. It's actually for sale. Built 2005. Motorcycle tax. No helmet required. Single speed manual. Fast and reliable. £9,000. Mind you, Wally, Batty and Nora in the hit comedy Last of the Summer Wine. Over the years. Honda graduate, 1973. And a Norton. Triumph alongside. Was well known for cars over the years as well. And we have an array of push bikes, even penny farthing here. So people come in with cars, a few American cars. Well, some of the push bikes here alongside the motorbikes. A lot of rally bicycles represented. Made a major British bike manufacturer over the years from Nottingham. PSA ladies there, penny farthing. Saw one of those in Gloucester the other day going through red traffic lights. Bad news, gives all cyclists a bad name. Of course, included some of the rather bad cyclists in London or scooters. But you consider other people and one's own safety, of course. There we are, the tandem there. And other bikes here. Children's and others here. There we are. 1980s. Of course. Most youngsters had a bike in the 70s before all the temptations of mobile phones and all this. Certainly an old bike there. Roy Mark Love Butcher Dursley. Dursley being not that far away. Morris 10. Morris 10. Ford Anger, I think as well. Ford and the lovely Austin 3-litre with John here. Rover P490. Sadly, John's wife died in the pandemic. Lovely car there. And we have the police are here. The Triumph Herald. Have the Ford Granada here. The Ford Granada Estate here. The Granada B Reg. Vauxhall Astra K-Reg there. Looks like it might have got a Saab engine there. I think it's, of course, Saab were owned by General Motors for a number of years. Don't know if there's any connection there. 1934 Austin 10-4. There we are, the Austin 10-4. There we are, the 1966 Austin A43. And there we are, and it's also got a 1275 CC Marina engine. There we are. And we have the MGF there, the MGF, predecessor to the TF, of course. Swedish import here in the Volvo estate. The workhorse. Really, they were, of course. The American model here. Which one is it? That's the thing. 1977 Chevrolet here, imported from Georgia in 2022. Rover P4 110 here. Rover 100. American pickup there. Next door we have the lovely Rover P400 here. The Rover P400. It was the doctor's car in the day. They were known for, really. Lovely luxury Rover. We have the 1941 Cadillac Series 6 one there. We're back to the American again. Also have that lovely Rover. There's some American cars here today represented. There we are, the 1941 Cadillac. Made during the war, of course. Land Rover here, Series 3. Old Citroen here, that big barge there, the Citroen. Now, I think we're a CX, this is a CX. Automatic Prestige. French course. And the Vanguard 6 there we are. In the Triumph. Bench seat there. A Ford Poplar here, the 103E. The 105E, I think it's probably 105E. Whatever it is, it's more popular. Anyway, and that lovely Triumph Vitessia. There we are. Triumph Vitessia. Lovely interior there, just right for the summer. Here on Vitesse. Not an established make, and we have the Vauxhall, I believe it's the Cresta, we'll soon find out. It's the Vauxhall Cresta, there we are. Up from Western Supermare, 1960, there we are. In that period pink. Quite a rare colour, I think. And the lovely 1971 Wolseley 1660. 35,000 miles, there we are. Wolseley 1660 here. Lovely gleaming condition there of the paintwork. Wolseley 1660. Morris Traveller. MGB Roadster. Jaguar XJS there. And the Humber Super Snipe there. (1945) ex-GPO linesman's van history. There we are. Purpose made for GPO as a linesman's van, fully equipped for all types of telephone installations and maintenance work. There we are. Used by GPO in East Anglia for 10 years until auction off as part of a lot of 5 vans in 1955. There we are. All were purchased by a major line owner in Becker and set to work on their farms. And during 1965, this van was barn stored due to an engine failure. There we are. Sometime in 2022, the van was rediscovered and purchased by a film company. Engine was rebuilt, the van overhauled and passed the LMT. And was also converted to 12 volts. There we are. Right, definitive history here. We had TV and film work, Theatre of Everything, well, various programmes there. Foyle's War, Miss Marple, Charlie Bassey's Story, Call the Midwife, to name a few. Hazel and Ben Smith, the current owners, purchased the vehicle in June 24. Unaltered from original construction except for all original equipment has been removed. Restored it to its final use as a builder's inquiry form of van for F.A. Smith and Sons of Whites Hill, Stroud. This being my grandfather's building business, which was established in 1920. There we are. Definitive information there. A lovely, rather regal Morris van here.